is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you with a quick video. I wanted to let you guys know I got some new merchandise available, not just t-shirt anymore. I got different type of t-shirt, different type of shirts and logos that you can purchase on my spread shirt, and also hoodies now. We have expanded and added more to the channel and more merchandise for the brand. Thanks for supporting. It will be in the description and the links will be in the comment section below. Thanks for helping me and supporting the movement. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going to check out the video. What's good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis with my annual middle of the season predictions. Obviously, I picked the top teams that I felt like was going to make it to the playoffs in the Western Conference. And most of them was right. Obviously, you're not going to get it right in the right order. Obviously, we still don't know until the season is over. But I like to update in the middle of the season just because injuries happen, trades happen, and stuff like that. And that's what happened for a lot of these teams was injuries and trades. And they still could happen. But I'm gonna have a little fun with this and put it out a little early and not update it again after All-Star weekend, since you guys love watching and viewing these type of videos. I'm gonna go from 8th all the way to number 1, and who I think will be the number 1 team in the NBA for the West. Number 8 is the Utah Jazz. I think them getting off to a bad start could really hurt them, as they have very small room for error. And what I mean by that is, since they already lost over 20 games and they fighting just to make it to the playoffs and stay in the picture, they're going to have to continue to win at a high level just to make up ground. And if they don't, they just going to be fighting to stay in where they at, which is the 7th and the 8th seed. Now, I know that they made up a lot of ground and they're closer to move up, but you can't really make that many mistakes in the West. You can't really afford that many injuries. And when I look at this Utah team, their defense is what really makes them special. And the fact that Donovan Mitchell is back playing to the level that he was last year, even though it's only been really 1 month that he's been playing at this level. But you do have to give him credit for figuring it out before the season ends. But they're going to need this for the rest of the year. It's not like Donovan Mitchell is going to carry them to the playoffs. Because remember, he needed Rudy Gobert help to help them get to the playoffs. It wasn't like Donovan Mitchell in like James Harden mode. He had actual help from Joe Ingles and guys like Rudy Gobert. So he wasn't a one-man show. And even though he is scoring more points, I still have to see, can he keep it up and can they stay healthy, because this team is very fragile. If they lose a player, I can definitely see them spiraling down, because they already limited with talent to me, and injury to one of their good players could really hurt how they place in a regular season. Plus, they already missing Ricky Rubio as this video is recorded. The Los Angeles Lakers, right now they're the 9th seed. I think it really hurts missing LeBron James for almost a half a month. That really is going to, I had them finishing home court, obviously, when the season started, but I don't see that really being possible, considering that, just like the Jazz, they're in a situation where they're going to fight just to stay in the playoffs. And I don't really see this Lakers team going on a huge win streak to really make up ground. Because if they really want to get to one of the top seeds, they're going to have to go on a 7+ game win streak just to get back to where they left off. Plus, we don't really know if LeBron James will come back on a minute restriction. Is LeBron James going to come back? How long is he going to stay on a restriction? How many minutes is he going to play? And can they really continue to win without him, because he's still not back? So the more losses they get, the harder it is going to be for them to move up in the playoffs. I know it's over 30 games to go, but you know, in the West, 1-2 games can take you out of the playoffs. So you don't really have a cushion like the Warriors and like Denver. You can't really afford to lose, and that's why I think the Lakers going to struggle to get home court advantage, because they're going to expect LeBron to do a lot, which is fair because he's one of the best players in the world. But at the same time, you still have to prepare to win games, and you can't really lose that much even when he comes back, because you already have little margin of room for error. Number 6, the Portland Trail Blazers. I don't see them getting home court. They're a solid team. I think they're a respectable team. They're going to be tough because they can handle. They got multiple ball handlers. They have the 3-point shooting. They got players that can step up in clutch moments. But they just don't have enough to really make me feel like they're going to be a dominant team in the NBA. I just feel like they're going to be respectable like they've been. Right now, they're the 4th seed, which means they get home court advantage against the 5th seed. But I definitely see the Spurs and Houston passing them up, as you will see on this list. And with that being said, that means that they're going to have to go down. And I don't think they're going down that far. I don't really see this team really going on a big losing streak, but I do see them staying very steady. 2-3 game winning streak, 2 game losing streak, 2, 3, 4, 5 at the max winning streak. And if that happens, that means they're not going to be able to get home court advantage, because I can see the other teams ahead of them having a cushion or even going on bigger win streaks to really help thrust them over the Portland Trailblazers. But it's just my opinion. Don't mean it's right, but that's just how I feel. The San Antonio Spurs, I got them moving up to 5th. I had San Antonio as one of the best teams in the West, and they're starting to play like it. Their defense is starting to click. They're starting to make shots. DeMar DeRozan has been their most consistent player. He doesn't have to do everything anymore, because at first he had to get points and assists, and he had to run the whole offense through him. Now people like Derek Wright is starting to have help. Rudy Gay is starting to step up. LaMarcus Aldridge is starting to find his shot, something that he struggled with the first couple months. And now they have everybody firing on all cylinders. Bertans coming off the bench, getting buckets. Patty Mills getting buckets off the bench. This team is very fun to watch because they move the ball and they pick you apart. If you late on rotations, they pass it. If you early on rotations, they drive. They shoot the 3 ball decent enough, and they spread the floor out. And they also got players like LaMarcus and DeMar where they can get the ball to in the fourth quarter and they can carry them home or have huge games, but also create their own shot and for others and score in isolation. Number 4, OKC. The only team I see really passing OKC besides the team that's already had them is Houston. I think the way James Harden has been playing, plus the fact that, eventually they will get Clint Capella and Chris Paul back before the end of the year, and the fact that they still picking up some solid free agents like they did with Austin Rivers and potentially with Kenneth Faried, I can definitely see them continuing a upward spiral. But as of right now, I have the Thunder finishing 4th because they just can't score to save their life. They get in close games and they find ways to lose them. That's going to hurt them in the playoffs, and that's going to hurt them at the end of the season. Their defense has been carrying them, and it has been turning it into offense. They're getting easy transition baskets. They scoring off rebounds and outletting it or letting Russell Westbrook push it. So I think that they have to still, like I said a couple months ago before they even got to the 3rd and 2nd seed, I told you their biggest thing is execution. I know Russell Westbrook did make a joke about execution, but that's what's going to really show how great this team is. Can they really execute? Can they get quality shots? Can they knock down quality shots? Can they create open shots? Because a lot of these guys cannot create their own shot. A lot of these guys are just shot takers, and they're going to need guys like Russell and PG to step up consistently. But we already know that Robertson is not really a scorer. We know Terrence Ferguson is not really a scorer. We already know that Steven Adams, he does his job, but he's not a guy that's going to really take over a game offensively. So they rely a lot on Russell and Paul George, and they always been streaky, inconsistent shooters and scorers, and that really hurts them when they're not making shots or creating enough shots, or even if their role players ain't knocking down shots, they become a lot easier to guard because all you have to do is just guard Russell and PG and try to slow them down, or you can just force them to allow their role players to make shots, and sometimes they making them, most times they're not, but their defense has really helped them, and at the end of the day, that's going to keep them with home court advantage. But I think they're going to struggle. If they can't create shots and get easy opportunities on the half court end of the court, they're going to struggle to really beat the teams that's ahead of them like Golden State and Denver, because they can score in the half court, and OKC's still struggling with that. The Houston Rockets, like I said, I feel like they're going to continue to go up. They're 5th right now. I think they can eventually get 3rd. I thought they had finished number 2 in the West. But obviously the injuries and the fight and a lot of crazy stuff been happening to this Rockets team, but they never gave up. They never quit. They kept figuring it out, finding ways to win games, finding ways to steal games. And they're not scared of anybody. They feel like they're still the best team in the NBA like they was last year, and they say run up. If you feel like you can beat us, if you feel like you better than us, we're not scared to play you. We're not scared to go at you. We're not scared, and they living and dying by that three ball. But they had a rocky start, got into the playoffs, and stayed in the playoffs ever since. But I only can see them going up. This team is just hard to stop. Mike D'Antoni is one of the best offensive coaches in history, and it's just hard to really stop a team with James Harden at the helm, and especially the way he's playing, and the fact that they're going to get more talent as their injury players come back. It's just going to be even harder to beat them as they get healthier. Um, the Denver Nuggets, I have them staying at number 2. I just feel like, you know, I don't really have much negative to say about them. They proved that they are legit. They are a for real team, and they do have a legitimate shot getting to the Western Conference Finals, depending on who they play and who they match up against in the first and the second round. We won't know that until obviously the season ends. But I don't feel like the Denver season is a fluke. I don't feel like they're going to fall off. I feel like they can score with the best of the teams. They facilitate. They can run the offense through. They got a good role players. They got good 3-point shooting and floor spacing, and they playing defense. And that's something that really made them struggle the last couple of years was health and defense. And now the fact that they're playing defense and they're playing together and they believe in each other and they have the chemistry, they have them, firing on all cylinders. And I don't really see that stopping. For the rest of the season, but they can very well get the number 1 seed back in the West. But number 1 is Golden State, and the only reason why I got Golden State is because of Boogie. They had a lot of injuries and a lot of drama. Draymond Green missed a significant amount of time. Steph Curry missed a significant amount of time. Boogie Cousins has only played 1 game, and at the end of the day, I think that just shows you how crazy this team can be. The fact that Boogie is almost a perfect fit. He can post up, give them something that they never had before. But not only that, he can shoot the three. He can shoot the mid range. He can put the ball on the floor. He can playmate like Andrew Bogut in the post, where he can playmate at the high post and make passes, and in the low post make passes. It's just that he's a significantly better, versatile, and more offensive player than Andrew Bogut because he couldn't really score outside of dunks and push shots. And DeMarcus Cousins can do all that. Plus, he's a good free throw shooter, and the fact that he adds space into the floor gives them a dimension that they never really had at that center position, and that makes them even harder to cover because now you have a guy that can hit shots from deep, and you already couldn't double team or trap none of them because they all can shoot threes. But now the fact that they got another guy that can space out the floor and shoot threes made the court even more open for Steph Curry and KD to go ISO or even create their own shot in the pick and roll. And if you ever double team help or collapse the defense, you got another person that can torch you at a 3-point line, mid-range line, or even put the ball on the floor, create for others, or just get a finish or a dunk. And it gives them an alley-oop and lob target because he can still get up there and they can still dump it off to him. That gives them another dimension and another level that they never hit before. And I think that this was the acquisition that they needed to continue to repeat as champions. And I don't see why they wouldn't now that DeMarcus Cousins is getting healthy, but they still got to figure him out. They still got to fill him out. They still got to let him get healthy. They still got to let him get the rust off. And they have plenty of games to do so. But remember, Steph Curry is having a phenomenal season. KD is having one of his best seasons of his career. And that means they can only get better, which is the craziest part. The best team in the West still can get better. And that's the fear of how good this Golden State team can be going into the playoffs. And I think they will stay number 1 in the West. And I think they got a 10-game win streak in them. And if they can run off 10 in a row, that's only going to help them build on that first place seed they have right now. Right now is them and Denver fighting for it, but I think that they go on that win streak to separate themselves from the competition and even might get the number 1 seed in the entire NBA. We will see, but we already know the Warriors are eventually going to turn it on. The Warriors are eventually going to get serious, and this is the perfect time because they are healthy now. So we'll see what happens. So let me know what you guys think. Who you guys think is the top 8 teams in the West? Did I miss somebody? Did I underrate somebody? Did I overrate somebody? Is it a team like Dallas that's going to make a move and move up? Is it a team like the Pelicans that might make a move and try to make a run? Will Minnesota try to make a run? Will the Clippers stay in the playoffs? Let me know what you guys think and who I might have missed. And let me know y'all's top 8 teams in the West. Tomorrow, I obviously will continue it with the East. And then we're going to move on as buyouts and free agency come. At the end of the day, check out my older videos. I do videos just like this. I talk about the trade deadline, the buyouts, the NBA draft. Obviously, I break down basketball game with actual footage. I also do season previews and fun videos like top fives and other things. Like I said, check out my older videos, my older playlists, and if you like this video, enjoy those. Also, I enjoy making these videos every day. You guys enjoy watching. That's why I continue to go. Check out my Spreadshirt, my website, and my Facebook. They all will be in the description in the comment section below. Thanks for the support. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm gone. And let me know what you guys think the top 8 teams in the West will be by the end of this season.